Okay. All right. This is coming from AccuWeather. Texas, Florida, and the Carolinas are at elevated risk for explosive 2024 hurricane season. The Atlantic hurricane season of 2024 is predicted to be one of the most active and intense in history, according to experts at AccuWeather. The weather warmer than average sea surface temperature and a transition from El Nino to El Nino conditions, all signs point to hyperactive season with a higher risk of direct impacts on the United States. The 2024 Atlantic hurricane season is forecast to feature well above the historical average number of tropical storms, hurricanes, major hurricanes, and direct U.S. impacts. And the reason for this is warm water and rapid intensification. One of the primary drivers for a hyperactive hurricane season is warm water, which serves as fuel for tropical systems. Now, if y'all remember last year, the first hurricane of the season was, I believe, the end of March going into April. So we have to keep an eye out as that could very well be the case again this year. This year, sea surface temperatures across the Atlantic basin, particularly in the Gulf of Mexico, the Caribbean, and main development regions, are all well above historical averages. According to several sites, current temperatures are comparable to those observed in March before the record-breaking hurricane seasons of 2005 and 2020. The abundance of warm water not only promotes frequent storm development, but also increases the potential for rapid intensification. In recent years, historic hurricanes have been undergoing rapid intensification, such as Hurricane Laura in 2020, which rapidly intensified from Category 1 to a Category 4 in just 24 hours. The predicted number of tropical storms and hurricanes in 2024. Meteorologists forecasted 20 to 25 named storms across the Atlantic basin for the 2024 storm season, including 8 to 12 hurricanes, 4 to 7 major hurricanes, and 4 to 6 direct impacts on the United States. These numbers surpass the 30-year historical average of 14 named storms, 7 hurricanes, 3 hurricanes, and 4 direct U.S. impacts. However, with multiple factors favoring storm development, there is a possibility that even more than 25 named storms occurring this year. Regions at the highest risk this year are coastal areas, and that would be the Texas coast, Florida Panhandle, South Florida, and the Carolinas are areas with elevated risk. So I'm in an area with an elevated risk right now. These regions have historically experienced a higher frequency of tropical storm and hurricane landfalls. So it is crucial for everybody along these areas to be prepared, to have a hurricane plan and be fully prepared for direct impact this year. Oops. What shouldn't be done when you are driving your car during the eclipse? And they are stating that they are expecting more accidents to occur during the eclipse than at any other time. So, for solar eclipse safety, here is what you should not be doing on the road during the rare event. It says the sun and moon and earth will align in a North American solar eclipse on Monday, the March 8th, April 8th. Millions of Americans from Texas to Maine who are in the path of totality will be able to experience atmospheric moment at its peak. The eclipse could last up to 4 minutes, and they are stating another eclipse will not occur again until 2044, about 20 years from now. Schools will be closed for that day in the US. There will be some of them that are closed. Dr. Bill Blair, an astrophysicist at Johns Hopkins University in Maryland, said roads could get congested and last minute travelers looking for a good view. So they're stating that people need to take caution if they attempt to view it while they are on the road driving. As for everybody should know, if you want to attempt something looking up into the sky, pull off the road and then look up. Do not be on the road driving, as you will probably run into other vehicles and end up in accidents. In some areas, the weather will be cloudy, and some people may make last minute efforts to get to where they think it might be clear. This could cause potential dangerous conditions on the road in some places as people will be trying to speed. Multiple schools across the country, as I stated, had decided to cancel classes and observe an alternative schedule on April 8th due to travel concerns. Livingston Public Schools in Livingston, New Jersey released a notice on March 6th from School Superintendent Matthew Block, who alerted the district to an early dismissal schedule for Eclipse Day. Hayes Consolidated Independent School District of Kyle, Texas, confirmed to Fox News Digital that schools would be closed due to safety concerns around traffic control and crowd management. Of concern to them is should an emergency occur on one of their campuses that day, the response may be delayed, that the school buses and student drop-off and pickup traffic could contribute to road congestion. Officials in Dallas, Texas, a city in the line of totality, are also instructing all drivers to be cautious. The North Texas Tollway Authority Media Relations Manager Michael Ray told them that it's advising the public against driving during the eclipse. Plan to observe the eclipse from off-roadways and do not drive and attempt to view the eclipse. Like I just said, you shouldn't be driving if you're wanting to look up in the sky for 4 minutes. That is dangerous and not a very sound idea. Also, if you're planning on looking at the sun, make sure you have your special glasses. If you look back in the videos that I have done recently, within the last month, I have a video, and in that video, I talk about how you can get those glasses if you want them to be prepared. I do know, and let me see if I can pull this up. Here in North Carolina, we will be able to see the eclipse. So hang on one second while I get this pulled up so that I can show this to you guys. Okay, this is a time and magnitude of 2024 eclipse for North Carolina's top 500 highest population communities. Charlotte will be at a 3:11 p.m. and you get 83.3%. Raleigh will be at 3:15 p.m. and you get 82%. Greensboro will be at 3:14, you get 84.4%. Durham will be at 3:15 and you get 82.9%. Winston-Salem will be at 3:13 p.m. and you'll get 85.1%. Fayetteville, which is my area, will be at 3:14:47 and it'll be at 80.4%. And Cary will be at 3:15 and it will be at 82.2%. So we will be having some of the eclipse here in our area. I am hoping that it won't be raining that day and that we will be able to see the eclipse as it happens here as well. That will be very, very fun. I do not plan to be driving anywhere, so I will be home and enjoying it from the safety of my own area. Oops. Let me see if I can open up what I closed. Okay. The NTTA plans to patrol areas across the tollway system during the eclipse in order to respond faster to potential accidents. AAA and car rental partner Hertz say that Dallas has seen 6 times more reservations than at this time in the last year. Okay, they say 4 of the top 5 post-eclipse bottleneck locations were on non-freeway routes. These 4 locations had congestion durations lasting from 7 to 15 hours. The maximum queue lengths at 3 locations range from 45 to 70 miles. Interstates are expected to be congested as well. Diaz mentioned that preparation is key and suggested people stay longer at their eclipse viewing locations once the event has passed. Much like after a concert, hang out until the initial rush passes, which means take your time going home. Means stick around until you see everybody who wants to leave as fast as they can has already left. Fill up before the eclipse with gas. Make sure you have a full tank. That way, if you get stuck in traffic, you're not going to be one of those people blocking the roadways and having emergency. Make sure you have an emergency preparedness kit. I would state to have water, snacks, first aid kit, and a phone charger. Also, make sure that you have a blanket. Okay, God knows the weather's been crazy lately. I would think that having blankets in your car to stay warm with in case you are stuck for longer than 7 hours on the freeway without being able to move. And, God forbid you get a snowstorm. You're going to wish you had blankets and extra warmth in your vehicle. Flashlights, anything that you would have for your emergency kit, I would say have with you. Um, People that are prepared for earthquakes would know what to carry. People that are prepared for weather would know what to have. So make sure you have all the things that you would normally have in your emergency bug out bag and put it in the back of your car or somewhere you can reach it within your vehicle. That is called safety. Um, some more tips are keeping your vehicle's headlights on, pulling the sun visor down to block the sun, and remembering to not wear eclipse glasses while driving. They also advise drivers to not photograph or video the eclipse while driving and not to pull over to the side of the road, highway, or interstate to view the eclipse. Make sure you exit the road and park in a safe area away from traffic to view the eclipse. As I was stating, get off the road. Be mindful of pedestrians who may be walking around with their eyes on the sky. Yeah, because they're gonna walk into things. You ever seen those people with the phone and they're so into their phone and playing games and whatever that they walk off a pier? Make sure that they don't hurt themselves. Okay, I would be keeping an eye on pedestrians and making sure that they don't get injured just because they're enjoying themselves too much. Also, as noted previously, people should take steps to ensure the safety of their eyes and vision during the eclipse. As I stated, there is a video that I put on my channel, believe it was about 2 weeks ago, and I tell you on that video how you can get those glasses. Also, here in North Carolina, I do know that my landlord is planning on giving out the glasses to people that live in my area. So that is nice. I plan on getting a pair and making sure that my family and I will be able to view safely. Thousands of dead sea creatures have invaded California's shores. Colonies of strange-looking sea creatures have been washing up on beaches throughout California. The tiny blue animals are known as Velela, and are cousins of jellyfish, also known as by-the-wind sailors. Hang on 1 second and I'll show y'all a picture. And this is what they look like. Oops, didn't mean to pull it up that way. This is what they look like. Um, they are cousins of jellyfish. They're known as by the wind sailors. Vilela are just 1 to 3 inches big and typically live deep in the Pacific Ocean. However, they've been spotted in record numbers in places like Monterey and Tomales Bay near San Francisco. While it's not unusual for the creatures to wind up in California this time of year, experts are seeing more of them than ever before. Many believe it's due to the wet weather the region had this winter. They're saying climate change could also be playing a role. During spring and early summer months, Point Reyes seaside visitors may come across thousands of by-the-wind sailors stranded on the beach. These blue jellyfish-like creatures use their translucent triangular sails to free float around the ocean. Their sailing routes are determined by prevailing winds, and a shift in these breezes can spell bad news for the little seafarers. If the wind is too strong in the wrong direction, they can get blown onshore and will die. Research suggests that these wrecks are associated with warm ocean temperatures in the Northern California Current. The little sailors live on the surface of the ocean and use their blue color to stay camouflaged and protected from the sun's rays. They have stinging tentacles that capture prey, such as plankton, but don't sting humans. Isn't that funny? Okay, if you're thinking about something here and it just crossed my mind out of the middle of nowhere, remember the fires in Hawaii and the roofs that were blue, the houses didn't burn? And then they're talking about these little sailors are blue, and it helps them to stay camouflaged and protected from the sun's rays. Okay, not saying anything nefarious here, but that is a strange coincidence. They're saying that touching these little sailors can irritate the human skin, and anyone who comes across the colonies are asked to avoid touching them. So do not touch them, they can irritate your skin.